The official Phase 2 4.4 banners were recently revealed. As you know, Xiao and Yae Miko are the rated up 5 stars, but let's take a look at the entire banners including the 4 stars and the weapons. For Xiao, he's an animal hyper carrier who relies on his elemental burst. You'll build a team that primarily focuses on increasing his own personal damage. A major issue you'll experience will be energy. You'll more than likely need a second animal character who can funnel particles to him. In terms of team members, you have several options, but a C6 Faruzan can truly excel his potential and is by far his best support. Thankfully, you can get a few copies of her if you are pulling on the Phase 1 banners. Bennett is an obvious choice, and of course Farina, although depending on the team, you may not be able to max out the fanfare points, and Xiao will have dangerously low HP since both his and Farina's ability will drain his HP. Nonetheless, he can deal significant AoE damage, and since you're constantly leaping up into the air, he can avoid some damage. Overall, Xiao is a heavy hitter, and if you like seeing big animal numbers, then you'll definitely like this character. He is outshined by many other DPSs, so if you're looking for the best of the best, then Xiao, though powerful, may not be the best option. Yae Miko is one of the best electro enablers in the game. She has 100% electro application uptime. Miko's burst is also quite powerful depending on your build. As a catalyst user, her normal attack deals electro, so she can be used as an on-field attacker. Now, she does have some problems. If you want her to burst every rotation, you'll have to balance ER stats on top of crits and attack. Another issue is Miko taking the time to place each individual totems. Unlike a lot of sub DPS characters where you just tap the skill and swap out, Miko will require a little bit more fill time. So generally, you'll use Yae Miko for her skill to trigger elemental reactions. The most notable one would be Dendro reactions for spread or aggravate, but Electro Charge is also popular. Yao is a good 4-star Dendro unit who provides strong healing and all-field Dendro infusion with her skill. Getting her at C1 can boost Dendro damage for allies, allowing her to give even more support. On top of that, you'll most likely use the Favonius Lens, which offers energy for allies. So out of the 4-star units on these banners, Yao is the best. This is because Dendro as a reaction remains one of the best in the game. Now, she won't have the same application as the Dendro Archon herself, of course, but if you don't have Baiju or Nahida, consider Yao as a Dendro support. Ningguang can deal a lot of single target damage when built and supported correctly. She basically fits into guillotines with an open slot for a universal support. Her main selling point is her personal damage, meaning she's not reliant on reactions. As mentioned before, she fits into guillotines, but many Geo units that synergizes with her are limited or hard to get, like Zhongli or Albedo. Ningguang is an old release character, so most players should have her by now. The only reason why you want to pull for her is because you like the character or you want to obtain higher constellations, which is beneficial for her damage. Xinyan can be a pyro and physical DPS character or a utility unit as it provides a shield and buffs physical damage. Her burst can hit hard, and at C2, it'll increase the crit rate of the physical damage part of the burst by 100%. But like Ningguang, she is a character that needs heavy investment and is not often used in Abyss or Challenge quests. She's yet another old release character, so many players should have her by now. In terms of the weapons, the 5 stars are quite good as both are somewhat universal or flexible for many units. Being the best will depend on the character, of course, but it's generally very suitable for many. The Jade Wing Spear can be used by most on-field polar and DPSs. When hitting enemies, attack will be boosted up to 7 stacks. Now, this effect does not work off-field. Keep in mind, the passive effect is less desirable on units that doesn't value attack stats. The Jade Spear's weapon stats for attack is also very high, with sadly a 22% crit rate. I say sadly because you typically want more crit values, but there must be a trade-off for its high attack stats. Now, this polearm won't be a tier 1 choice for many characters, but it is a useful weapon if you do have it. Even so, I would not recommend going out of your way to pull for it, as oftentimes it does get outshined by the Staff of Homa, so you should save your money on that one when it reappears if you need a S-tier polearm. Kagura's Verity is meant for characters who can use their skills consistently. This is because its effect requires skills to be used often to gain the stacks for the elemental buff. Now, you can use this weapon as a stat stick as it does have an impressive 608 attack stats and a 66% crit damage, which makes it quite universal. Even characters like the Wanderer will benefit greatly from this weapon, even though he can't fully utilize the weapon's effect. Many other characters like Nahida and obviously Yae Miko herself will benefit greatly from this. This weapon can also help future units as long as their skills are consistent. Overall, it's a very strong catalyst, one I'd recommend if only there wasn't any risk in getting the Jade Spear. In terms of the 4-star, Witch Sith is an obvious standout. It's universal for many sub and main DPSs, and it's typically the go-to weapon if players lack any 5-star catalysts. Favonius Lance is also another standout and does require higher refinements for better consistency. Strong energy generator where many support polearms can benefit from. Stringless is also good for characters that prioritizes EM, so many actually, since it does help with reactions. Buff in skill and burst helps a lot of sub DPSs. Now for the other two, they're not really great. Lion's Roar and Lithic Blade have situational conditions, and overall there are better 4-star options compared to them, so I wouldn't really recommend you throwing lots of Primo Gems just to pull for those two. Overall, these banners aren't the best. Weapons banner is actually pretty good if you need more copies of the 4 stars Witch Sith or Favonius, but going all out for the 5-star isn't ideal. Kagura is amazing, but pulling carries risk as you don't want the Jade Spear. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's just not worth spending all your Primo Gems on. Character banners, on the other hand, are more so for players who like the characters. In terms of abyss usage rates, if that's something you really care about, Yae Miko is the only consistently used character throughout multiple updates, and then you have Yao and Xiao with slight usage. So in my opinion, skip these banners unless you really like the characters, but comment down below to let me know if you're pulling on the 4.4 banners. This includes phase 1, or are you skipping everything? Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for future Genshin and Star Rail videos. Good luck on your pulls, everyone. Till next time.